All right, what episode are we on? What is it? 56? I think it's 56.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. It's Monday. It's Go-Getters Day.
All right, we back with another one. Episode
Wolf&Pooch.
56.
It is. I think
55,
it is 56. We're around there.
Today we talking about little boundaries, the importance of having boundaries in all relationships in your life. Somebody texting when your phone should be on vibrate, but it's okay. Anyway, but like I was saying, back to the importance of having boundaries in like relationships and friendships and just family. All areas with family especially. Yeah. So I'll let you start off.
We're coworkers too. I mean, it just all the way around, right? I think boundaries are important because it sets a tone of like what you will accept and what you won't. And like we said, it's important to do in all aspects of your life. Sometimes, there's family members who, you don't want to really like let everything out with, and you have to kind of just be, they need to be mindful that you're not going to involve them in every aspect of your life, right? I mean, it depends, right? It's a case-by-case basis. Coworkers, like, I am a big believer in not getting too personal with your coworkers because it could always get used against you. And so yeah, that you got to be really careful with that one. As far as relationships go, super important. I think it's something that probably should be, maybe before you get to the relationship stage, to see if you two are in line with each other on what it is you expect from one another, because one of you may have one idea of looking at things and the other one might be so far off into another, thought process. So, because it gives a sense of structure, boundaries, right? And, it gives a sense, and what is structure? Structure gives us safety. It makes us feel like, okay, I'm heard, like he hears me, she hears me, your needs are going to be met, hopefully, right? Unless the boundaries get broken. I've used boundaries, with family relationships, all the things. And I find it useful because if you don't, people will walk all over you. People will take advantage of you, and you'll just feel better having that in place. At least for me, it works. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Same. Like on this channel, I talk about, when I'm talking to my guys, I talk about how, especially when you dealing with, women and dating, you need certain boundaries. Because I see dudes getting like taken advantage of every day, and it's sad to see. I've given plenty of examples of like I guess you could say friends, not really friends, but like coworkers, people who I've been cool with, get taken advantage of by a woman. Like, and even though I'll try to tell them, they'll still do it. And that's the craziest thing, because I guess it all depends on like whether you have boundaries with yourself, for one. If you don't have boundaries with yourself, then you definitely not going to have boundaries with somebody else, I feel like.
Right.
And what I mean by having boundaries with yourself is that you have to like really ask yourself what you want and what you will not really accept, and like what you will not and will go through and put up with and allow and all that good stuff. Because if you don't have those conversations with yourself, then that's when you tend to find yourself doing too much or getting walked over or ran over, getting used. It all starts from within. Like you have to know and really see like, okay, you know what? I don't do this on the first date, or I'm not going to date a woman with kids, or I'm not going to put up with a disrespectful woman, or if a woman show up late to the first date, I'm not going to just sit there and wait 30 minutes. I'm going to get up and walk out. Like stuff like that. You have to really know what you will put up with, because if you don't, people, they say teach people how to treat you, stuff like that, right?
True.
And I'm a big believer in that, because I'm the type, I'll let it be known, like, look, I don't agree with this. And that goes not even just for relationships, like we was talking about with the coworkers or friends, like
family.
I've told y'all examples where I had to let my supervisors and them know like what it was, just because sometimes if you don't tell them, people ain't gonna know your boundaries. So you really gotta communicate.
Right.
That's how people. It's funny because sometimes they say you get close to the people you bump heads with, right? That's how friendships start, and I think it's because you state your boundary, and now you're like, oh, okay, well, now I know their boundary. Now we can go from there. I know his boundary. Now I could go from there, and hey, you hit it off. So.
And I think it's not only important to set them, but to live them. Like, don't just say, this is my boundary, and then, allow the person to, like, go over it. And you're like, oh, okay. Because then they're not going to take you serious, right? I think that's really important, because I think oftentimes, I feel like that happens a lot in relationships where people will set boundaries and then they get abused. And it's like, well, wait a minute, And so then you're, like you said, you're treating people.
Well, then you just that's when you gotta walk away, right? Because that's what it is.
If it continues to be a pattern, if someone, if someone screws up one time, all right, okay. But then if it becomes a thing, you're like, all right, clearly they're not respecting my boundaries, And so that's when you kind of, you got to make a decision like, okay, this isn't working for me. This is like, this person doesn't respect me or whatever. So,
it's crazy. Like, it was a quote. It said, it's not about what you it's not about, like, when you dealing with somebody in a relationship or dating somebody, it's not about what you won't put up with, but how much you will, or something like that. I'm misstating it, but it had to do with something like how much you would tolerate, pretty much. Because it's like we all suffer, but who you choose to suffer for, and this and that.
True.
And how long you choose to suffer. That all depends on you. I feel like we all nobody's perfect, so we all gonna be let down. Ain't nobody gonna meet every single standard and boundary we have.
Absolutely not.
So it all comes down to how important that person is, and how much you willing to put up with. I think when it gets to a point where, like you said, if it's constantly being
a pattern
violated, or if it's starting to mess with your mental health or anything like that, then it's time to cut it off. But I think a lot of people just we get so caught up, I feel like, sometimes in the whole, we want the person to do better, or we trying to like change the person, and instead of believing who they are. And sometimes I feel like that's what kind of throws people off. Instead of just accepting reality, we expect them to be a certain way. Like, I don't know.
No, it is. Crazy. I mean, you hope people will evolve and be better themselves, but certain things people just aren't going to change about themselves unless they absolutely want to. So, that's really what it boils down to. But
set boundaries and be able to respect somebody else's, right? Because you can set them all you want, but like you said,
or tell them. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no.
No, say, or tell them, like, that boundary might be a little hard for me to, like, follow. I don't know. Like, have that conversation, because then there's no mystery surrounding it, right? Like, it was like, then the person knows, okay, well, this might not be something that he could actually achieve, or she could achieve or conquer. So, all right, so there's the gray area, right? And then you figure things out from there.
And the beauty about having boundaries during dating, like when you're looking for your a person to commit to or whatever, is that a lot of times if people don't meet your standards, they'll disqualify themselves. And that's the beauty of it. Like, if somebody know, you know what, she expecting this and that, or he expecting this and that, I know I can't fulfill that, so let me go and find somebody else. And then, like I said, they just kind of take out the trash for you. Then you ain't even gotta worry about none of that. They just kind of disappear on their own. So that's another beauty of telling people your standards, your boundaries at the beginning, right? Don't wait too late when it's like 6 months in. Now you want to say, oh yeah, this is one of my... Nah, you gotta tell them, shit, I'd say when y'all know y'all getting serious,
Yeah, if you know, like, you want to, like, really take it to a different level. Couple dates.
Yeah, why not?
Are you serious after a couple of dates?
Yeah, because that way they know That way you're not wasting any time, and they know if they want to
I
go on
don't-
another date with you.
Well, okay,
you might as well
yeah.
tell them up front.
Well, true. Okay, 2 dates. Think about it. The first date, you're getting to know them, right? The second date, you're still getting to know them, but you're going to be like, and by the way, I won't tolerate this. That might put somebody off on the second date.
Well, it's better to be put off now than wait later.
Well,
That's
true. I mean, I think it could be more of a gentle conversation, not more of like a,
no,
here's my list.
It's a wait. No. I don't say you show up to the table with a whole notebook of stuff.
No, I know. I mean, I think if it's someone, if it's someone you will have genuine interest in and you could see yourself, but I don't know if you know that on the second date.
Yeah, when you get to know somebody, I think
I
you do it as well. People say now, what are your green flags and red flags? So it's the same thing. It's kind of like people ask that. That's part of getting to know somebody. I think you should
when you're dating with intention, for sure. Yeah,
because that way you know. All right, let me not waste my time.
Just when I think about the second date, I'm like, wow, that's so soon. But
that'd be like if I'm on a date with a woman, and then like she tell me like this the first date, and she tell me, yeah, you know, I expect like when I'm talking to somebody, you know, I don't really like the people I date to date around or talk to somebody, talk to other girls. Well, then I know, this ain't gonna work because I'm dating around, right? So then I wouldn't even waste my time going out again. I'd be like, all right, we know where each other stand, and then work on to the next. So I feel like you do have to know, like,
sure, yeah. I mean, I think, levels. Like, I mean, serious ones. You're gonna be like, and you know, like, I want this. I don't know. I don't want to throw out any.
Just like I'm sure a woman want to know if a dude's still living with his ex or living with a woman who he separated with or something like that. I'm sure you would want to know that on the first couple days, right?
Well,
that might be a boundary of yours. You like, oh hell no.
And you hope they tell the truth. A lot of people out there not being completely honest. So yeah, it all comes out eventually, though.
You got to do it early. So state your boundaries early,
right?
And go from there, man.
Yeah, it's a healthy way to live, I think.
I think so.
Follow their socials that are in the bio, and
like, comment, subscribe, give us some feedbacks, any other show ideas, topic ideas, all that good stuff. Till the next video, y'all stay safe, y'all stay blessed, and we out this thing.